Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mood Zoning Blueprint Masterclass. This is a five-part series, and in the first module of this journey, it's titled The Mood Space Connection, and here I'm going to introduce you to the concept of mood zoning as not just an idea, but as a powerful design tool that can support your emotional clarity, your mental focus, and your cognitive health. In this module one, which is free, we're going to learn how your environment is never neutral and how it's always stimulating the brain, influencing our hormones and our emotions. You're also going to learn about the four emotional states that every well-designed home should support. Now, without much further ado, let us begin. Now, what is mood zoning? Mood zoning is the art of creating microenvironments that emotionally cue the brain into a desired state. It's about intentionally designing your home to support how you want to feel and not just how you want it to look. Every room in your home already holds a mood signature. Whether that mood is intentional or accidental depends on your design choices. That is, your choice of color, your choice of layout styles, and your lighting choices, the kind of scents that you use, and the sound in your space. This process is going to help you reclaim those emotional signatures so that your environment becomes a partner in your healing, in your focus, and in your peace. Now, before we move forward, let us do a quick exercise. So take a quick pause and think of the rooms where you spend the most time in. It could be your bedroom, your kitchen, your bathroom, or even your living room. And then ask yourself, what mood do they currently evoke in you? Is it calm? Is it chaos? Is it energetic? Or does it feel overwhelming? Don't judge because we're not here to judge. Just observe. The first step in any process, any transformative process, is awareness. So just jot it down, your thoughts, and simply sit with it. We're going to come back to this in module 2 when we will do a full mood map of the home. Let us do a quick run through of why mood zoning matters, particularly for us ladies. The first is hormone changes in premenopause, perimenopause, postmenopause. Every woman assigned female at birth experiences hormonal changes, and that leads to emotional volatility and sensory sensitivity. 2, your brain looks to environment for regulation. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive in that further down in the coaching modules. 3, poorly designed spaces can trigger feelings of confusion, fatigue, or anxiety. And 4, a well-zoned space can offer you subconscious relief, that is, relief that you're not actively thinking about because your brain is constantly processing environmental cues, and the majority of it we're not aware of or conscious of until we become aware and conscious of them. Right. Let us look at the science for a moment. It's not going to be an elaborate scientific, lowdown. It's just a quick one. Your brain is not just sitting in your head. It's in constant conversation with your environment. And when you're in a space that feels chaotic, your limbic system, that's the emotional center of the brain, becomes triggered. This can then lead to cortisol spikes, which then leads to increase in anxiety and can even impair focus. On the other side of this is when your space is calm, clear, and well zoned, your brain gets the message that it's safe and it can then focus and rest. This is the neuroscience behind the mood zoning blueprint and why it is not just an aesthetic ideology with focusing on function and how our brains and our bodies respond to environmental cues. Now that we've touched really quickly on the science, let us then move on to the 4 core emotional states we should zone for in our home environments. Every woman, particularly in perimenopause and postmenopause, needs 4 emotional zones in her home. The first is the calm zone, and this space helps you regulate stress and restores your nervous system balance. The second is the focus zone, which supports clarity, work, and mental productivity. The third is your energy zone, which helps you feel activated, whether that's for exercise purposes, you're running errands, or you are doing something, you're being busy and active. And the restorative zone, which is where you wind down, a place you go to reflect, and the space where you have deep restorative sleep. Now, you don't need 4 separate rooms for this. It's important to note this because we have people with large spaces with many different rooms, and we have people with smaller spaces, and yet there are people who live in studio apartments. So it's not particular to people with many different rooms. What you need is intentional cues and design choices, and then we will then learn how to create those in the next modules. That's where it gets exciting. Right, now that we've touched on the basics that we're going to build on in the next modules, let's do a little bit of another pause and reflect exercise. I want you to reflect on these prompts. Which of these 4 emotional states do you find is missing in your space? And this is where you have to be the detective in your own home, meaning you have to begin to pay attention to how you feel in different zones or spaces of your house or your home. Ask yourself, when you enter into a particular space or a particular zone, do you have too much energy but nowhere to focus? Or if you're in your bedroom, is your bedroom calm or does it double as a work zone? And ask yourself, which emotion is overrepresented in your home? Is everything wired for productivity and action, but nothing invites rest? These observations will help guide you in how to build your mode zoning blueprints in the next module. And in the next module, we're going to go deeper where you will sketch your current layout. You're going to reflect on your daily rhythm, and then we're going to identify where your space may be leaking energy and sending you mixed signals. We're also going to walk through common overstimulation triggers and how to begin creating zones that meet your emotional needs. That's it for module 1. I hope it's piqued your interest, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in module 2. See you soon.